I believe like with my sport, because of the amount of people that are involved in it, you know, you're not just fighting the other guy that was trained by the other coach over there on the other side of the ring. You know, you're also fighting the referee. You're also fighting the judges. You're also fighting the fans around, you know, the friends, the family, the ones that are booing at you. You suck, and trying to get in your head while you're like 9 years old. You know, we're just kids learning and fighting. What that did for me, it made me who I am in every aspect of life.
Pressure creates champions, but it can also expose weaknesses. Teofimo Lopez has always fought like someone charging full speed toward his goal. Loud steps, quick hands, and unwavering confidence.
What's up? Oh my God.
My father said, you gotta be an entertainer. He was seeing everybody else, all the other kids. He knew I could beat every kid. However, he just wanted to add a little bit more sauce into me. And what was it? He said, be different, have fun, enjoy yourself, entertain. And I always had that in me. I started boxing at the age of 6, officially. But before that, my father had me fighting and doing Taekwondo at 2 years old. So let's say from 2 all the way to 17, for 15 years, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't believe in myself like my father did. I did not. What my father instilled with me, and it stuck with me, were a lot of things that I could really say that has improved my living. Don't get hit. He always told me that. He's like, you know how to box, you know how to do this, just don't get hit. All he had to say was don't get hit, and I already knew what that meant.
Yeah. 1, 2. Right hand again. Give me that right hand, baby. Give me that right hand.
Oh, sure.
Right here, like that. Don't show it. Okay, go.
Come over here.
Too fast for me. Go. Move that. That's it.
From the Olympics to world titles, Lopez's career has always moved fast, like he never intended to stay in one spot for long. He wanted this fight because Shakur represents something Teofimo can't just overpower with emotion alone: control.
It's what we've been waiting for, man. Working on drills, foot drills, hand-eye reaction, everything. You know, my guy, TA, Go Feet Formula, that's what's about to happen right now. I'm about to enter the whole matrix.
That's my boy. He was the one that started. That's my boy.
So like you know, we already here. Fight week is on, and we at the UFC Facility Center. I've never seen him this great since right after the Olympics when he turned pro. Like very explosive. But now he's a takeback, and we just trying to focus on that and going to the next level, man, and taking over the 140 weight division, and that's what we focus on right now.
Their paths first crossed years ago. Both Olympians, both shaped for greatness, always mentioned in the same conversations, but never sharing the ring, like parallel lines, waiting for boxing to finally bring them together. Teofimo's style is all about power and confidence, sudden bursts that can change rounds and swing momentum in seconds. He's the kind of fighter who thrives on rhythm and quick reactions.
So it's really just trying to just keep it going, you know, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You know, you gotta have fun with what you do. You know, I love this. You know, I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. You know, this has been 20 years in the making, 20 years in this, you know, and I have so much to do and so much to prove within myself. So mentally, I'm prepared. Physically, I'm more than ready, you know, and emotionally, I'm on fire. You know, I'm on fire with it, you know, because all I ever did was try to be great. You know, and it's no longer trying. I am great. And it's all about just continuing and holding that. So it's all about just staying humble throughout the process, keeping myself level-headed, and really just enjoying each day that we get, because tomorrow's never promised.
When he's on point, like he was against Lomachenko or Josh Taylor, he looks untouchable, sharp, creative, and daring anyone to keep up. For the Stevenson fight, Teofimo trains closely with his father, Lopez Sr., focusing on rounds, discipline, and smarter combinations every day. That's the Teofimo Lopez experience. Brilliance mixed with risk, talent that can either deliver a huge win or unravel quickly. He's always chasing the moments that turn fights into unforgettable statements.
I'll tell you like this. A lot of these people, they're so ambitious, and it's okay to be, you have to. But the thing is, sometimes you don't get it because you're probably not gonna carry it the right way. You're probably not gonna be a people's champ. You're probably just gonna spend all your money, like a lot of these fighters do, on yourself rather than giving back. You know, it's all about being a people's champ. Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time for those things, you know, and he made a strong, strong impact in this sport.
That's two.
Mastery doesn't shout, shows in steady, consistent work. Shakur Stevenson has been building toward this fight as if it was always meant to happen. Step by step, never rushing, never losing focus. He's an Olympian too, but wired differently. Shakur learned early that the ring rewards those who think faster than they move. This matchup has been years in the making because Shakur doesn't chase opponents, he draws them in. And Teofimo has always been the loudest challenge waiting in the room.
I like how he stay long and keep that angle.
Yeah, he keep the angle.
Keep his head off that
Position,
fucking
man,
line.
just in case. Especially with somebody
Good.
fast like him with timing. You can't be out of position.
Yeah.
He strong as hell. He picked me up in there. It was fun though. Just to be in the ring with him, share the ring with him, test his IQ out a little bit, see some of the moves he's doing, and I'm gonna go take with me when I go fight. So I appreciate Dre.
You gonna run it back again? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Shakur's style is all about subtraction, removing space, taking away options, and eroding confidence until his opponents are swinging at nothing and second-guessing their timing. He doesn't fight for flashy moments. He fights for full rounds, building pressure with clean punches, precise counters, and footwork that feels almost impossible to keep up with when you're chasing him. Along the way, Shakur has built top-level connections, learning from legends like Andre Ward, Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, and Terence Crawford. This mix of experience has shaped the way preparing for Lopez. Losses haven't held him back because he rarely repeats mistakes. He adjusts, refines, and returns stronger. Shakur wants this fight because Teofimo is pure chaos, and Shakur has built a career proving that no matter how wild or talented the chaos, it can be controlled and overcome.
I was looking at
It's looking bad today. That's how it's looking. Cole gonna break some. And if he don't break some shit, he gonna beat the fuck out of him. Over this. Oh. Nice. Oh. Oh. What in reverse?
We don't care who it is. We have no friends. Shakur, if his cousin get in the ring, he gonna get this smoke. If his brother get in the ring, he gonna get this smoke. We have no friends. Strictly.
Tarver said this fight is like a classic chess match hidden inside a brawl, and it makes sense. He kept coming back to one simple truth. If Shakur controls the distance and owns the center of the ring, he wins. If Teofimo forces bursts and closes a gap, he can turn the night around. Tarver also highlighted the little things we often overlook: conditioning, mental focus, and the daily habits that keep a fighter sharp. Those household details can make all the difference when punches start flying.
If you see Shakur controlling the distance, giving him angles, keeping that fight sort of in the middle, you gotta favor Shakur. But if he's on the back foot, if he's on the ropes, I mean, that's going to give Teofimo a lot of opportunity.
And I can't stress enough how important that is when rounds 9 to 11 feel like lifelines. Tarver called Teofimo a combination puncher, someone who can throw both hands in quick succession and turn a clean sequence into a real problem. That's why he warned that Teofimo needs to press in short, controlled bursts, and not go all out blindly, because if he does, Shakur can punish him over a long, grueling stretch.
What makes Teofimo, I believe, dangerous in this fight, he throws both hands in succession. He's a combination type puncher, and that always serves well if you got a real slick defensive fighter in there.
Tarver even looked to history. When Teofimo faced Lomachenko or Josh Taylor, he transformed into a different fighter. So Tarver said the only version of Teofimo that can beat Shakur is that ultra-focused, ruthless version, moving his feet inside and attacking with intent. But he also reminded us that Shakur has the tools to stay calm and play the cooler, smarter chess game.
Like I said, could be, leaning toward becoming the face of boxing, because with Shakur being undefeated, having a big name like Teofimo Lopez on his record, he's going to have to then...
Timing counters. Now carry his strength at 140 pounds. When Shakur fights like he did against Zapata, he turns ordinary fighters into easy work. Bottom line for Tarver: favor the boxer if the plan works, but respect the fighter if Teofimo takes control of the night. Either way, this is a defining crossroads for both men.
Put him in there with all these big names and see, can he beat one or two more guys and become the real fighter, the king around that 140, 147 division. It's a lot of action there, Marco.
And right after Tarver framed it as Teofimo needing to be at his absolute best just to crack Shakur's code, Wade Plemons stepped back and reminded us why this fight matters in the first place. He said it straight: this is best versus best in their prime. Boxing almost never gives that without a decade of excuses first. Wade kept stressing that this isn't about belts sitting on shelves. It's about timing. And he's right. These two have known each other since their amateur days, circling each other for years, and now there's nowhere left to hide.
Shakur has the same opportunity. This is Shakur's toughest test, no doubt about it. The Williams-Zepeda fight was a tough test because of the style of fight that Zepeda brings, but Zepeda is not the boxer that Teofimo Lopez is. It's just not even close to the same category of boxing ability, technique, skill, experience, higher level. Like, it's not even close. So Shakur is going to have to answer those questions as well. If he believes, and he does, that he's the best in the world, this is how you...
When Wade talked about the face-off being the first mental test, I liked that he wasn't looking for fake aggression. He was watching posture, eye contact, and who was answering questions naturally instead of just performing for the interviewer. That's where the real mindset shows. He made a sharp point about Teofimo actually respecting Shakur's boxing, his movement, his ability to fight inside and outside, and that matters. Fighters who dismiss their opponents get embarrassed. Fighters who respect and prepare. Wade also challenged a big boxing myth, saying, "We're too obsessed with perfect records and shiny belts instead of who you actually beat." That hits hard because Teofimo has already proven he'll face the best. Lomachenko, Taylor, anyone dangerous.
Traps for Teo in the fight continuously, and then eventually turn the temperature down on Teo and essentially try to starve him, right? Starve him of punches, starve him of volume, starve him of momentum and rhythm, right? Like, Teo's a big-time rhythm.
But Wade didn't give Shakur an easy pass either. He said it straight: this is Shakur's defining moment. The fight where you don't just look great, you prove it against someone who can punch back and think. When Wade broke down the weight issue, whether Shakur can carry it to 140, you could hear the skepticism, but without any hate. This isn't theory anymore. It's a reality check. The funniest part? Wade pointed out that while styles make fights, it's delusional to compare Zapata and Teofimo as if they're the same challenge. The way he framed it: this fight isn't about trash talk or social media hype. It's about whether Shakur's control can hold up against a fighter who won't be starved, and whether Teofimo's ambition can stay disciplined long enough to matter. That's not hype, that's pressure. And pressure always tells the truth.
Feet with his movement, once he gets in that flow, it's a little bit tough to stop that ball rolling down the hill. If Shakur can just be an interrupter in this fight and interrupt timing, interrupt rhythm, interrupt momentum, I could see that being the way he wants to approach it, and frustrating.
And right after Wade framed this fight as one about timing, ego, and who's really built for the moment, Breadman Edwards stepped in, sounding like the calm guy in a room who's already seen this movie 3 times and knows where the twists happen. Breadman basically said, relax with the disrespect. Treating this like Shakur is just going to walk through Teofimo is how people get embarrassed later. He acknowledged what we all see: Shakur's consistency is elite. He brings the same high-level performance every night. No mystery, no surprises, which is why the betting odds lean his way. But then Breadman flipped it, reminding us why Teofimo is a nightmare matchup when he's fully dialed in. Athleticism, explosiveness, and confidence can turn into something frightening in an instant.
Give you a basketball analogy. Shakur Stevenson averaged about 25 points a game, right? But every game he scored about 23, 24, 27, 28. He just have a good baseline. Where Teofimo averaged about 22 points a game. Some games he only have 10, but other games he got 50.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
I love the basketball analogy he used. He compared Shakur to the player who gives you 25 points every night, steady, reliable, while Teofimo is a guy who might give you 10 or might drop 50 and set the building on fire. That's not inconsistency, that's volatility. And in boxing, volatility wins fights when it peaks at the right moment. Breadman also pointed out something people often avoid admitting. Teofimo doesn't freeze under pressure. He can be hot and cold. But when the lights are brightest, he's shown up against Lomachenko, Josh Taylor, even Barbosa. That matters far more than pretty scorecards. At the same time, Breadman didn't downplay the danger. He said Teofimo struggles when he has to chase movers, when he presses instead of lining up his shot, which is exactly the environment where Shakur thrives. That's the warning right there.
Is that the guys who've given Teofimo movement and the guys who've tried to he's tried to press, he hasn't looked good. But when he's made fighters come to him and he can kind of like line them up for his counter punches a little bit better. So he's obviously a fighter that likes you to come to him more than a fighter that likes to come to you and kind of stalk you down.
This fight isn't about roughing Shakur up or trying to bully him. It's about whether Teofimo can pull Shakur into his world without losing discipline. Breadman wasn't telling us to pick Teofimo. He was saying respect the ceiling. Because if Teofimo hits one of those 50-point nights, all the safe predictions go quiet, fast, better than any highlight or smooth shadow boxing. It's about identity under pressure. Teofimo chases explosive moments, always hunting the night, where chaos overwhelmed control and raw force wins. Shakur chases mastery, the slow suffocation of mistakes, the wind that doesn't explode but lingers. Every voice we've heard, Tarver, Wade, Breadman, keeps returning to the same truth from different angles. If Shakur keeps the fight small, clean, and disciplined, he turns this into a long, frustrating night for Teofimo. But if Teofimo finds rhythm without losing structure, he can change everything in seconds. There's no safe outcome here. No easy script. Just two Olympians who've been circling each other for years, finally colliding while they're still sharp, still hungry, still dangerous. That's why this fight matters. Whoever comes out on top, someone's story changes forever. Drop your take in the comments. Debate it. Shakur's control versus Teofimo's volatility.